Number one, the graph of a function is shown below. For now, you don't need to know what a function is. You're going to learn all about what functions are in Unit 3. So just the graph is shown below. Describe each section of the graph. You need to describe if it is linear or nonlinear, increasing or decreasing. Linear just means straight line, and nonlinear means not a straight line. So section N, I would highlight it, or at least use your finger to go over it. I just did it in red. So section N, you can tell that it is linear. And you can also see that from left to right, it is increasing. Section P, I'm going to highlight in blue. So again, it is linear and increasing. Section Q, I'll highlight in green. So you can see that that's definitely linear, it's a straight line, but it's not increasing or decreasing. So I'm not going to write anything. And then section R, I'm out of color, so I'm just going to go over it in black. And that is also linear and increasing. Number two, the owner of a coffee shop compared the amount of hot coffee per day in fluid ounces sold in daily high temperature in degrees Fahrenheit per day. Her data are shown in the scatter plot below. A, draw a line of best fit. So you take out a ruler and you try to line it up so that it's through the middle of as many of the points as possible. I'm just going to use my finger, so it's not going to be as good as yours. So something like that, it should be a straight line. Because I didn't use a ruler, mine's not exactly a straight line. How many fluid ounces would the coffee shop sell if the temperature is 90 degrees? So I go to 90, I go to my line, and mine is right around 300, maybe a little higher. So I'm going to put 310. But go by your line. If you're anywhere near there, you're fine. How many fluid ounces would the coffee shop sell if the temperature is 40 degrees? So 40 already has a bunch of points here, but you're still going to use the line that you drew. So I go to 40, I go up to the line, it's right here. It's a little above 600, so let's put 615. That looks about right. How many fluid ounces would the coffee shop sell if the temperature is 0 degrees? So that would be the y-intercept. And you can see that the line hits the y-axis slightly under 900, right around 875. But if your answers match your line, then you're fine. Practice, draw a line of best fit that goes through this scatter plot. So again, use a ruler. You don't have to start at the origin because that would not make sense for this line. You don't have to start at the first point because again, I think that would be too low. So you want to draw a straight line through the middle of as much as possible. So something like that. And then if you wanted to write the equation of that line, an easier form is y equals mx plus b. So I can see that the y-intercept is 50, and then I just have to figure out the slope. So I do rise over run, so I'm going to use this point and this point. So it looks like it's up 10 over 1, so 10x plus 50. So you need those two pieces. Find the slope of y-intercept in that linear equation. Hopefully it's really easy, it's just d. Number 5, find the slope. You got to use the slope formula. I would write it down, n equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that'll remind you that you need to label your points. x1, y1, x2, y2. 9 minus 7 over 3 minus negative 3, which is the same thing as 3 plus 3. So it's 2 over 6, which simplifies to 1 over 3. Find the equation of the line. It has a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of negative 2. So there it is. Number 7, a bicycle club went on a 6-hour ride. The graph below shows the relationship between the number of hours spent on the trails and the number of miles traveled. What happens in the 3 to 4 hour time period? So in between 3 and 4, that's right here. You can see that it is a flat line, slope of 0, which means that it is right around 33 miles. Right around 33 miles. And for that hour, that's not changing. So what happens? They did not move for that hour. And then if you want to come up with a reason, you can, like they took a break, they stopped for lunch, they took a nap, whatever you want to say. They didn't move for that hour. Number 8, the graph of a function is shown below, for which interval of x is the function decreasing and linear. So the first part of the graph is increasing, so that's no good. The second part of the graph is staying the same, not increasing or decreasing, so that's no good. The third part, there we go, decreasing and linear. So it went from here, which is 15, to here, which is 40. So choice C. Number 9, find the slope and the y-intercept. So you need to rearrange it so it's in slope-intercept form. Minus 3x from both sides. 5y equals 10 minus 3x. Divide each term by 5. Y equals 2 minus 3 over 5x. And then answer the question. The slope is negative 3 over 5. The y-intercept is 2. Number 10, which association best describes the data? Clearly this one, if you draw a line of best fit, is negative. Is there an outlier? I don't see any. This one is clearly positive, and that wasn't the best line I could draw, but I'm just doing it quickly. No outliers. And this one is clearly positive, and there's definitely an outlier. There it is. Number 11, find the equation of the line. So you need two things. You need a slope and you need a y-intercept. If you want to use y equals mx plus b. Or you need a slope and a point if you want to use the point slope formula. So to find the slope, we have the slope formula. So we'll go right here. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Pick the easiest points. These all have negatives in it, so I'm going to skip those. So x1, y1, x2, y2. 28 minus negative 2 is the same thing as 28 plus 2. Over 6 minus 0 is 30 over 6, which is 5. So the slope is 5, y equals 5x. And we know that the y-intercept is negative 2 because the x value is 0. So y equals 5x minus 2. Number 12, the graph pictured below is Sandy's water dish. I usually like to look at these graphs and try to figure out what's happening before I even read the question and the choices. So you can see that Sandy's water dish starts with 400 milliliters of water. And then you can see that at some point in the graph it's going down, which means the water amount is going down. So it's the same, then it's dropping. It's the same, then it's dropping. It's the same, then it's dropping. So either someone keeps spilling the water dish or the dog's drinking blood. So what is one possible interpretation of the section of the graph from 30 to 60 seconds? That's this one. So it's at 300 milliliters of water and it's not changing. So Sandy was drinking? No, it would be going down. Sandy stopped drinking to investigate the noise. That's probably it. Sandy tipped the bowl of water over? No, then it would go down. The owner filled up the water, then it would go up. So it has to be B. All right, number 13. Next page. Find the slope. When they give you a line on the graph, your best bet is to do rise over run. So they give you 2 points, but you can really do any 2 points you want. So that one's there too. So it looks like it's down 2 over 3. So the slope is negative 2 over 3. Or you can just go down to the other point, down 4 over 6. So negative 4 over 6, which is the same thing as negative 2 over 3. So that's the slope. Number 14. What can you conclude about the graph of a line given by the equation y equals negative 5x? So it's just by looking at the equation. The slope's negative 5, and I know the y-intercept is 0 because there's nothing there. So the line has a slope of 5? Nope. The line has a y-intercept of 0, negative 5? No, that's the slope, not the y-intercept. The line passes through the arc, and there it is. And the line rises from left to right. No, it's a negative slope, so it goes down. The cost to rent the boat includes an initial fee of 9. So I could already eliminate A and C, because the initial fee of 9 would be the y-intercept, plus $6.50 per hour, so that's choice B. Number 16, the graph below models the cost of renting a car. So you can see that the car starts with 15 gallons in the tank, and it's going down as you drive more miles. So what is the initial fee and the cost per hour to rent the car? I don't think this graph matches this question, which means we probably just changed it for the test. But the initial fee is 15. You can see that. And then it's going down. You know what? None of these choices are correct. That's okay. It's supposed to be D, but it should be negative 1 over 25 miles per gallon, or gallons per mile. Which I guess would be 25 miles per gallon, but as long as you can do that on the test, you're fine. Rise over run, Number 17, identify the correlation. So B clearly is none. C is clearly negative. D is clearly positive. We kind of talked about A. A is also none because you can't make any predictions based on those points, but just make sure you understand B, C, and D. Number 18, which point appears to be an outlier? It's not that far, but since all of them are really close to the line, except for that one, that's the outlier. So that looks like it's at the 18th week, and right around 165. Number 19, which graph shows a function in which the rate of change in the y-intercept will go positive? So if the y-intercept is positive, that's out, and that's out, and that's out, because those are 0. So it has to be that one. Positive slope, positive y-intercept. Number 20, which equation represents that line? Well, it has a y-intercept of 5, and so do all of these, so you can't eliminate it. So then you do the slope. The slope's negative, so there goes A and D, because it's supposed to be a positive slope. And it's going down to over 1, which is choice B. Open-ended questions, number 21. Cab company charges $30 boarding rate in addition to $10 for every mile. So y equals 30 plus 10x, or 10x plus 30. So the slope is 10, y-intercept is 30. So this is cab rates, or cab charge, whatever you want to call it. Money, rate, charge, miles. Miles, I'm just going to count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the money is a little trickier. It's $10 for every mile. So I have two options. Option 1, I can just count by tens. And that would be fine because the y-intercept is 30. So if I'm counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So you would hit the y-intercept. Or I should do a break in the graph, start at 30, and then count by tens. But since it works out, I'm just going to count by tens. If the numbers were different, or when you're counting by tens, if we didn't hit the y-intercept, so if the y-intercept was 35, I might do a break in the graph instead, or if it was a lot higher numbers, but in this case, 10's fine. So you start at 30, and then each mile goes up another $10. So put a bunch of points on the graph. I would be safe and just put as many as possible. Get out your ruler, draw the line, draw the arrows, label the line. What is the initial cost? The initial cost is $30. You can see it on the graph, or in the equation, or in the word problem. And the rate is $10 per mile. All right, next question, number 22. This seems to be the one that gave most people their problems, but this really isn't that bad. Tim is selling tickets to a school sporting event to raise money for his club. He put some extra money in his box before he began. So that extra money in the box before he began is the initial amount. What's another word for initial amount? That's the y-intercept. As he sells tickets, As he sells tickets, he records the number of tickets he has sold and the total amount of money in the box. Some of his data are shown below. So after he sold 7 tickets, there's $108.75. Then 13, 18, you see how much money's there. You can't just divide. You can't just do 108.75 divided by 7 because you remember, he put in money in the box to start. So you can't, it's not a direct variation. Assuming all the tickets are the same price, write an equation. So to write an equation, every single time, you absolutely need the slope. So n equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'll just pick the first 2 points, make my life easier. So that's 146.25 minus 108.75 over 13 minus 7. I'm going to drop it down over here. So 108, 37.50 or 37.5 over 6. And when you divide those, it comes out to 6.25. And I know that I always tell you leave it as a fraction and don't use decimals, but this time we're talking about money. So since we're talking about money, I'm going to write it as a decimal. So the slope is 6.25. The y-intercept, how much money he put in the box originally, we don't know. So we can't use slope-intercept. And if you want, you're like, okay, I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. So it's y equals 6.25x. Uh-oh, I don't have a plus b. So I can't use this. So I need to use y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Point slope. So I'll just use the first point since it's the smallest. Y minus 108.75 equals 7 parentheses. I'm sorry, that's 7. That's where the slope goes. I'm acting like you guys. Equals 6.25 parentheses x minus 7. So technically, that could be my equation, and I could stop right there. But since you're going to have to find out what he initially put in the box before anyway, I'm going to rewrite this in slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is the distributive property on the right side. So y minus 108.75 equals 6.25x minus $43.75. And then I'm going to add 108.75 to both sides. So I get y equals 6.25x plus 65. So that's my equation. But like I said, that's one possibility. This was another possibility. Circle too much there. That was another possibility, but you're going to have to do the work to figure out that 65 is the answer anyway. So I don't know what's going on with my screen. And there we go, 65. And you'll throw an exclamation. You'll see that. All right, so next one, 23. So first you need to find the slope of the y-intercept by rearranging the equation. Alright, so I'm going to minus 6x from both sides. You're going to show all the work. I'm not going to show it here just to save space and time. So 10 minus 6x, and divide everything by 2. Y equals 5 minus 3x, and the slope is negative 3. The y-intercept is 5. Bracket, start at the y-intercept. And since the slope is negative 3, that's negative 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1, and the other way. Until I get out a ruler. I don't have one, so I'm going to do my best here. Not bad. Arrows, label. Graph the function to that. Create an equation that's parallel to that. Well, anything with the same slope. So y equals negative 3x plus 22. Anything that has the same slope with a different y-intercept. All right, find an equation in point-slope form of the line that passes through these points. So they actually walk you through this one. They tell you to find the slope first. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 8 minus 5 over 6 minus 5 equals 3 over 1, or just 3. Then it says to write it in this form, and they give it to you. So y minus y1 is 8 equals 3 parentheses x minus 6. Or you could do y minus 5 equals 3 parentheses x minus 5. And then you need to rewrite it in the slope-intercept form. Distributive property, get the y by itself. So y equals 3x minus 10. So that's the final answer. They really walk you through this one.